The Israeli media has been abuzz about a secretive initiative Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is reportedly planning to unveil in May should the Palestinians continue to refuse to negotiate a bilateral peace. Israelis have heard this sort of thing before and are justifiably concerned. Netanyahu himself has not spoken directly about a new diplomatic plan, but has indicated that if the Palestinians continue to make excuses to not negotiate, Israel must be ready to initiate a unilateral plan of its own in order to avoid an internationally imposed resolution to the conflict. While such an Israeli initiative would likely fall well short of what the Palestinians are demanding, it could also lay the groundwork for increased international pressure and hostility on Israel, even as Israelis are promised that their sacrifices will give the Jewish state the upper hand. Former Prime Minister Ariel Sharon came to a similar decision and made similar promises to Israelis before unilaterally surrendering the Gaza Strip and uprooting every Jew living there. But far from convincing the world that Israel is the party truly interested in peace, leaving Gaza has made the territory more of a thorn in Israel's side than ever it was. Members of Netanyahu's Likud party are hoping he is not foolish enough to try the same thing in Judea and Samaria, and that Gaza has proven to him that merely disengaging from the Palestinians will not satisfy the Arabs or the international community. Pressure is mounting on Netanyahu from within the Likud to be more transparent about what he is planning. But the Prime Minister has been conspicuously quiet of late. He canceled a meeting with Likud ministers on Sunday and has not convened his inner cabinet in several weeks. The only person Netanyahu is apparently working with is Defense Minister Ehud Barak, who on Monday told Israel Radio that he is urging the Prime Minister to come forward with implement his plan much sooner than May. This is the time to take risk in order to prevent international isolation, said Barak. This is the time for leadership. We have no choice. We need to separate from the Palestinians for our own interests. Whether or not Netanyahu is about to give in to the U.S. and international pressure is unknown, but I do feel this move is inevitable. I do not believe it will be an Israeli disengagement-style withdrawal from the West Bank, but likely more on line with what negotiators have already agreed upon in secret bargaining. Of course, we've heard this all before, only to see it go up in smoke, or the offer to be far less than what the Palestinians are willing to accept. However, if this does indeed turn out to be the peace accord the Bible has described in Daniel 9:27, one of the stipulations is that the Antichrist would confirm the agreement or make it strong. In other words, once the offer is made and accepted, the Antichrist will make sure what has been agreed upon sticks. This passage also mentions this future peace agreement would include many nations. At this time, it's difficult to see how the Islamic world could agree to such a peace accord with unrest spreading throughout the region, but one day they will, if for no other reason but to gain a strategic military advantage for their future attack against Israel. In a recent Israel Today article, they outlined the real direction this uprising will ultimately take and what the true feelings of the Islamic world were. The Palestinian Authority newspaper Al Hayat Al Jadida revealed in an editorial last week that once the pro-democracy revolutions across the Middle East reach their conclusion, a newly empowered Arab nation will turn its hostile gaze on Israel. The symbol of the glory and dignity of the Arab masses is the conflict with Israel and its allies, following their escape from regimes which oppressed them, impoverished them, starved them, and which acted as a barrier between them and the stopping of the Zionist enterprise, read the article. This has always been the goal of the Islamic world, and a false peace accord will not change that. God has placed it in their heart to wage war against His chosen people, so that He might use this opportunity to destroy them and bring glory to Himself. This is Terry Malone with the Calvary Prophecy Report.